All right, we're back here at the William Carey Tradition Campus. Dr. Richard Strebeck, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
So I think a lot of what goes on into educating others who are going to be educating others, right, is preparing those individuals who are caring for those young minds as they're being shaped, the counselors in the school system, right? And you are the chair of the Counselor Education and Psychology Department.
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about the the School of Counselor Education program.
So within the School of Counselor Education on the Tradition campus, we have two different tracks. We have a clinical mental health counseling track, which moves people towards professional licensure as a licensed professional counselor. Then we also have a school counseling track that prepares individuals to be a licensed school counselor in the state of Mississippi. And so it is within that context we are working and educating our students to work with the children and adolescents in high schools, middle schools, and elementaries, and kindergartens even.
Are there any prerequisites before you can get into this program?
Absolutely. We have the prerequisites are that we require a GRE score. You have to have an undergraduate degree, a bachelor's degree. Now that bachelor's degree can be in almost any other field. You don't have to be in humanities or psychology or sociology for our program. There are some prerequisite classes that we're looking for that most people usually take in an undergraduate core curriculum. But then, you know, things like letters of reference, we ask for that, statement of professional goals, because we want to make sure that the degree you're asking to enroll in and what your life goals are, that degree is going to get you where you want to go. So we help you become a good consumer of your education.
Why does a student choose to pick William Carey over any other school with regard to the school counselor education program?
That's a great question. I think we have several reasons. Number one, I think we are the only school counseling program in South Mississippi, south of 20. And so geographically, we are here. But our curriculum is offered in a hybrid format. Another reason is that we have smaller class sizes. I know my students. When life happens with our students, I know what's going on with them, and so we are more interested in mentoring students and shepherding them along the process. We do research along the way, but our primary target is really mentoring students and making sure that they're meeting their life goals so that the children in our school districts can meet their goals and achievements and those sort of things.
The hybrid program that you mentioned, I think it's a big piece of it because when I was in school, there wasn't so much of that. And I believe that the body of individuals who are going to school need a little bit of a different approach now than they maybe did 20 years ago. Some folks are getting the undergrad, they're going right into the workforce, and they think once they're in there, they're like, I want to go a little further with this. So that hybrid program is really helpful for those individuals who are already working.
Absolutely. For example, if you're already an educator teaching in a school district, you can get into our master's program, still maintain your teaching full-time job, and complete your degree. I think a lot of times people think, oh, online learning is easy peasy. It's right the opposite. Our students are just as well equipped to enter the workforce as anybody else in the field.
And you probably have to be a little more ability to multitask in those situations.
Oh, without a doubt. In school counseling, no school counselor's day is the same from one day to the next because you never know what's going to walk through your door. And that's what we prepare our students for in a school counseling system. We prepare our students to handle all of those type situations in the school districts. We do have a faith component to what we do. When students have problems in their life and they're talking to me about it, I frequently pray with my students if that's their background. Now, we don't force religion upon anyone, but we provide an opportunity for students to explore their faith and integrate their faith and belief system into their counseling processes.
You know, I was just about to ask, how does the faith side of this tie into that? But you answered the question. That's perfect. I think that's a key piece of it.
Exactly.
That's especially with what you guys offer here at William Carey.
How do you live out your faith within your chosen profession? For a lot of my students, they're educators, they're teaching, they've been teaching 5, 10 years, and they're like, I have more to offer. God is calling me to do more in my role as an educator, and I have the ability in school counseling to provide a wider influence with not only the students, but their families.
That takes getting out into the field and doing the work that you're called to do a step further.
Absolutely.
Because you're already doing it.
Absolutely.
What about, I know that William Carey specializes in kind of that individualized attention, whether that's hybrid, whether that's fully remote, whether that's on campus. Tell us a little bit about how, you know, this university has made that part of a cornerstone for what they do.
Well, sure. I think COVID changed everything, right? Everybody, you know, went online with everything, but we realized, you know, especially in school counseling, I said, you know, we're one of the few universities in the South Mississippi that offer school counseling. And so I have students that live in Natchez. I have students that live in Grenada. And so getting to campus can be very difficult for them. So we designed the program to where they can be online for a couple of hours with their classmates, just like they're sitting in a regular classroom. Then we design assignments to move beyond that video conferencing interaction within the week. So those assignments become like, well, if I were sitting in class debating this topic, what would that look like? And so we have moved towards, instead of just written discussion boards, which a lot of platforms use, I've moved our program to moving more towards video-driven discussion. You know, I tell my students, make a 3 to 5 minute, you know, post about what you're thinking, record that, and then you watch everybody else's in class, and then you start responding back and forth within the platform. That's one way we've really tried to make, what is that hybrid format experience like? We try to make it as much as similar as if they are sitting in the classroom on our campus in person.
What about the testing side? Are these folks going to be involved in the testing?
No. School counselors do not do testing. Someone is interested in doing testing for children in school districts for an individualized plan for their education, whether they need accommodations. And so what we do at William Carey is we offer an endorsement program as well as a full master's program in school psychometry. And within that program, we will teach you how to assess children, how to assess their IQ, what are their strengths, what are their areas of growth, and how do we leverage those growth in the area of weaknesses so they can perform in the classroom. And so we teach our students how to perform functional behavior analysis, behavior intervention plans, and they work with that team in the school district. They do the testing for the academic team to say, hey, what are we going to do for this child so this child can become the best individual that God has created them to become. And so that's what psychometry does in a nutshell. And we do that at William Carey. It's a 48-hour degree in master's program, or it can be a 24-hour degree if you already are a program. If you already have a AA teaching license, you can add that endorsement onto your teaching license in 24 hours to where you can become a school psychometrist and do the testing.
Well, there you see the information there at the bottom of your screen. William Carey works on trimesters, so you're going to be a good chance where you're getting close to one of those registration periods. So definitely reach out, that number on the bottom of your screen, the website, and they will be able to take care of you. Dr. Strubeck, thank you.
It was my pleasure.